Morning, I think it's day 13 today. I've lost track of days. We are now at Hilton Universal. We are heading into the park very early this morning. We've got early entry to I think it's Nintendo World. I will get the name right by the end of this strip, but you have to be in the park for 7, so it's a very early rise for the Herbert family this morning. So we're all a bit like, oh, I need some coffee. So we're heading in early for 7. It's our first full day in the park. We've got 2 days in the park, so we're going to go quite steady. I think there's only around about 11 rides, so it's going to seem a lot smaller to Universal at Orlando. The walk we're going to walk in takes about 8 minutes thereabouts, and we'll catch up with you once we're in the park. See you in a bit. So once you walk up the hill, you then walk across the walkway, and then you're at City Walk. Famous Universal sign. Grab some pickies by that later. So this is our first time here at Universal Hollywood, so we haven't got Scooby-Doo, what we're doing or where we're going. Right, we're on our way to try and find Super Nintendo World. Let's hope I've got the title right again. We have no idea where we're going in this park. We have booked early entry to Super Nintendo World. Whether we find it before the time's up could be another thing. There it is. I'm really excited to check this out. Right, so I think there's maybe 5 escalators down to the lower lot. They're quite steep. I'll turn you around. If you have a DAS pass and you're in a wheelchair, they do have a lift, and you go straight up to Mario Kart. So here we go. And I'll turn you around and show you Super Nintendo World. It is heaving already. Even with the early entry, there was quite a few people in here, but it's probably tripled in 20 minutes. The queues now for games are quite long, but they are moving quite quickly. The cast members are very good at moving them through. We've just done Mario Kart, really good ride, really enjoyed it. I didn't film on it because it was our first time on there, and I think it's really hard to actually grasp what's going on in the game unless you've got 3D goggles on. The only thing that surprised me was I thought it would be faster, but I still really enjoyed it. Really clever ride, quite interactive throughout. I managed to get a reservation for, I think it's Mushy's restaurant or Mushy's restaurant, I don't know what it's called, but I went there I think just before 8 o'clock, and already the reservations were going super quick. I managed to get 2:15, but literally as quick as I was trying to get booked one, they were literally going so fast. So if you do early entry like we did, I'd go there first and try and get a reservation just to make sure you secure that. So we're doing that later. One thing to mention, if you do leave the land and you can't get back in because it's too busy, if you have got a reservation, they will let you in, I've been told. So we're going to, I think, spend most of the morning in here. It's very loud, just to warn anyone that might have, you know, sensory issues or struggles with noise. So we bought Libby's loops with her, which are brilliant for sort of like, they do different noise cancelling, or they do ear loops that actually you can still hear people talking. So it is worth bringing some ear defenders or some loops with you. But really good. I'm glad we did the early entry. But that hour goes so quickly, and I think it cost us $130 for 4 of us, so it's not cheap, and that's on top of your park tickets as well. But it's pretty awesome. I'll turn you around and show you the crowds now. This is the queue for one of the games. You need to get 3 keys in order to do a special mission. I believe which way you go inside the castle. You've got 1 key so far. This is our second game. You do, I believe, need a power band, and they are $40 plus tax. It works out just under $44, just to make you aware. Yay! Into, I think, secret room. So not 3 keys. So we're now in Bowser Junior. So I'll show you inside once we go in. See what it's like. There's lots of things as you're walking around the queue to come in. So keep your eye out. There's lots of interactive things. If you've got one of the power bands, as I said earlier, they're around about $40 plus tax, so they're not cheap. But hopefully we'll be able to use them when Super Nintendo World opens in Orlando.
Well, to make it this far, Apple Pick is your final showdown with Bowser Jr. When bob-ombs are tossed at you, use your arms to swat them away. Got it? Swat bob-ombs away. When bullet bills fly toward you, duck to dodge them.
She still does get a little protective, she gets a little defensive, so we don't want to push it, right?
Just recently done the mummy ride. We've never done it. It was down last time we were in Orlando. It was so surprising. We didn't actually know what to expect. Didn't realise it was such a big dark ride, and then obviously it turns into a roller coaster. The biggest surprise was when it went backwards. You're not allowed to film on any of the roller coasters here, and they're very, very strict about it. A few people got told off as we were going round. Did ask about GoPros as well, and that's also a no-no on any of the rides. So we just turned towards Secret Life of Pets. I'd love if someone opened the door.
A theme up here. Did you know there's a woman in 7J who sings in her sleep? She could be on TV. I mean, if she wasn't so bad at singing. Or maybe.
There's no
Told ya.
With your buggies, use the joist.
Raptors in. Roam the earth. Welcome, folks. You can take a photo with us right here. Mentex, her vocalizations are fairly intense at the
So we're now in Cafe? I think I've got it right. Toadstool Cafe. So I mentioned today that you have to get a reservation first thing in the morning. That just gets you into like the virtual queue. You then queue up to do the quick service. So we've had, I think, 2 meals, a couple of snacks, a couple of desserts and a couple of soft drinks, and that came in around $88. You get your drinks, they then find you a table to sit down on, and then they actually bring your food out to you to the table. It's really nice experience, very loud, it's quite noisy in here. I think it's quite reasonably priced for such a quirky experience. I'll let you know what the food's like when it comes out. It's lovely and cool in here, so it's a great place to actually get a bit of air conditioning. But the reservations do go super quick in the morning, so by about 10 o'clock this morning there was nothing left for the whole day, and then they won't let you in any earlier than a couple of minutes before your reservation, so there is no point in coming any earlier. So there were people turning up at 2:15 for a 2:30 reservation, they just turned you away. So it's really busy. Once you're in here, it's very well organised, and the tables are really nice and really well spaced out. So looking forward to trying the food, and I'll let you know what we think of it in a few minutes. So I've got the Firefly meatballs, and they are quite spicy. Libby had the Princess Peach cupcake. What was it like, Lib? Nice. It's got jam inside. Andy, I forgot to film it.
Luigi burger.
So I'll insert a picture now. Pesto.
And chicken and pepper.
Nice.
And cheese. Yeah, very nice.
And then I've got the tiramisu cake. I haven't tried that yet with raspberry Kool-Aid. So we'll see what that's like in a second. What to say, my meatballs are super spicy, so if you don't like spicy food, you might want to avoid it. Time to try the tiramisu. Hopefully it will cool down my mouth from the spicy meatballs. The cube is like a shortbread, just like a plain shortbread, really nice. It's definitely cool cooling down the hotness in my mouth. Right, try the tiramisu inside. Nice, but that's not a traditional Italian tiramisu. It's missing the amaretto for a start. And then you've got like a little mushroom. I think that's the shortbread. That was the white chocolate. Really nice. I stand corrected. I can now taste the amaretto in the base of the biscuits.
Time for the tour right now is about 40 minutes, and the tour itself is going to be an hour long today. So I do recommend.
My name is Sarah. We're going to get the show on the road in just a little bit. Up with their trailers. Now, trailers in Hollywood are utilized as dressing rooms for the actors. This is where they get into hair, makeup, and costume before they start filming for the day. But back in the earlier years of our studio, we didn't have movable white trailers. We actually had physical dressing rooms. And you'll see some of those on our left-hand side. These brown, beige, bungalow-looking little houses. They were dressing rooms for stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart, and even Lucille Ball. And that's because back in those days, actors were on a contract system, so they could only make movies and TV shows for one studio at a time for however long that contract lasted. And sometimes they lasted for years, so it was nice to have a permanent dressing room throughout that time. Well, nowadays, actors can make movies and TV shows for pretty much any studio in town, which is why these buildings have now been converted into production offices for some of Hollywood's top writers, producers, and directors. We're passing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's production company on our left-hand side. These are the offices for $7. He named his production company several bucks after the amount of cash he had in his pocket when he first arrived to Hollywood. And next to 7, Ollie dropping bricks on Joe Pesci's head from the 3rd story. This is also where they filmed a Gone Girl with Rosamund Pike and Ben Affleck, as well as this scene from Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey.
Race the dog! In the show!
He's like that. Outside the
I know what some of you are thinking. You're looking at your screens and you're looking at that building going, wait a minute, that doesn't look like the clock tower from Back to the Future. Well, that's because it became so iconic and recognizable that too, with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. You may remember the scene where Peter Parker arrives to Mary Jane's show just a little too late. Everyone's already leaving.
I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Stella. I created this 3D immersive experience.
So first in our lineup, we have the Ford Deuce Coupe from American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas. And there's Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI. We have futuristic vehicles from Back to the Future, as well as some prehistoric cars from the Flintstones. Now these Flintstones vehicles are just modified golf carts with fiberglass shells on top, so they can actually go up to 45 miles per hour on the islands of Hawaii. But not to worry, we don't have to travel that far. Check out some of the props, set pieces, and picture cars that we have from the first 3 Jurassic Park films. Coming up on our left-hand side, this is the mobile lab unit that hung precariously off of a cliff in the Lost World Jurassic Park, starring Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore. Similar to the tank from Transformers, the mobile lab is also made out of plywood. Check out some of those windows. A lot of them are splintering. Real car windows now. Oh wow, check out this dinosaur on the left hand. Perfect. So what you're seeing happening here, folks, is what we call a practical weather effect. The rain is created by these high-tech, state-of-the-art devices. You may have heard of them before. They're called sprinklers. We place them on the tops of flagpoles throughout this area. It allows the water to fall naturally to the ground, mimicking rain. But we're too late. Hang tight, everybody. Maybe hang tight. You don't see that every day. I do. Every single day. This is a scene from the movie War Wagon. You're looking at Kirk Douglas. He's a cowboy in yellow. John Wayne is a cowboy in red. Now, these two actors are not similar in height at all. One of them is standing on a bot. A good place to start Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead. In this location, the afterlife. I I've never ever seen this. You're in the good.
The Good Place was created by Michael Schur, brought us other TV comedies like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks and Recreation. He was also one of the writers and producers of The Office on NBC. And for fans of The Office, you might recognize Michael Schur. He played Mose, Dwight's cousin, who also worked on his meat farm. I've been told they caught the man-eating shark that's been terrorizing the town. So George is our new studio tour intern. It's his first week on the job, so let's keep an eye out for our intern, George. Everybody, I'm pretty sure George is on his lunch break, so he's nice and safe on letting up. There he is. Okay, George, get out of the water. Hey, can you hear me? Start swimming towards your boat. You're in danger, buddy. There's now a last-minute opening in the Studio Tour internship program, if anyone would like to apply after the Studio Tour. All right, we're going to hang out right over here on this dock. Keep your eyes peeled for the shark. The shark's grabbing that end of the pier. Do you see it? That part of the pier is connected to our gas line underneath. Holy smokes. You know, this might actually work out in our favor. I read somewhere that sharks, they're afraid of fire. Turns out that's not true. We're gonna need a bigger tram. Now, does that mean the shark you just saw, the one that Steven Spielberg used on the set of his movie, is that our shark actually works? It has unfortunately had a little trouble on set. Take a look. And because of that, it's usually closed to tours, but not today. There's nothing filming down here today, so that's good news for us. In fact, if anyone is watching Never Have I Ever on Netflix, created by Mindy Kaling from The Office, the main character, Davy, played by Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, lives on this street. In fact, I'm going to point out her house. It's coming up on our left-hand side. You'll see it. It's yellow with all the brownstone trim at the bottom. Now, Davy's not the only one to have lived in this yellow house. This yellow house also belonged to Terry Hatcher on the television show Desperate Housewives. That's right, we're currently driving down Wisteria Lane. I wonder where they go. Well, we're going to check into the Bates Motel next door. Maybe they know what's happening to all the people. It's run by... Looks like there's 12 rooms, 12 vacancies, possibly. Oh. There's Norman Bates. You know, I like to do my research, so I read the reviews of this motel. They're a little mixed. They said management's kind of creepy, but the showers are to die for. And if you didn't get that joke, it's okay. It's a deep cut. Oh, what a sweetheart. He's carrying out that lady to her car. She looks dead tired, am I right? Oh, okay, I'm half right. We're gonna get out of here. Hi, we didn't see you do anything weird or murdery, right, everyone? We didn't see anyone do anything weird or Okay, let's get out of here. Tony? Set still standing in all of Hollywood. And if you're a big fan of the Bates Motel TV series on A&E starring Freddie Highmore, they actually took the blueprints of the motel and the house on our left and recreated those sets up in Vancouver, Canada for the series. It's crazy. Now, it may have cost Paramount $60,000 to purchase, but they did get charged about $250,000 to get it here. Of course, if you do drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red emergency cord, remain seated, and I'll be back there to help you as soon as it is safe to do so. Now, we're...
Evacuate.
Water problem, they, well, essentially refurbished at the moment, but these are the actual sets from the movie. I do apologize about this, folks. It looks like the security office is calling us for some reason. I gotta take the call real quick. Hang tight for just a moment.
So, I've got to end yesterday's vlog. Quite tired when we got back. We had quite a full day in the park. We went in for early hours because we had the paid for early entry for Nintendo World or Super Nintendo World. To be honest, I'm not actually sure it's worth that extra money. By the time you actually get into Nintendo World, it was 7:15 and we were up really early, and it didn't buy you a lot of time because by 8 o'clock it was pretty full. So I would probably say just get there early. I would recommend doing Mario Kart first, followed by the games, because by about 8:15 Mario Kart was already up to 90-minute wait. So head there first and then do the games because they get really busy. Interestingly, when we went in the afternoon around about 3:30, Super Nintendo World was really quiet compared to the morning, so it might be worth just skipping it first thing in the morning and going in there a bit later on in the afternoon, just because the games were at half the queues. I didn't happen to look at what the wait time for Mario Land was, but it seemed to be you know, less than it was in the morning. We also did Toadstool Cafe, I think it's called. Talking about Toadstool Cafe, so it took us, our reservation was at 2:15. That is just basically a virtual queue reservation, just to make you aware. And then you queue to actually get into Toadstool Cafe, and then it's actually a quick service, believe it or not. So you order your food and then they find you a table, they'll bring they carry your drinks out, and then your food comes out directly to your table. If you've got any form of serious allergy, it's probably not the right place for you. They just couldn't comprehend about removing something from a plate. Even though we said it was an allergy, they just couldn't do it. They still came out with it on, so it's just something to be aware of if you're going in there. The food wasn't badly priced, and the food was actually quite tasty. We had 2 main meals, a starter, 2 desserts, and then 2 bottles of water, 2 soft drinks, and it came in around about $88. So not awful compared to some of the prices. I would say Universal was probably a little bit cheaper than Disney, and the food was really, really tasty. So, you know, from that perspective it was good, but it took from actually queuing from the door to actually sitting down to nearly an hour. So if you've got little ones, it's just something to be aware of. I think personally it would be much better as a sit-down restaurant, because, you know, the time it takes to get in there, I think it, you know, they could, you know, it would be a much better experience if it was a proper sit-down. I think the whole system could run a lot better. But overall, it was a nice experience. The actual cafe was really well themed. There were interactive things going on during the experience. We came in quite early yesterday. We came in before park opening at 7. We ended up getting back to the hotel about 6, so quite a long day. But, you know, really good. They also do a DAS system here, so dispensary access, which works very well. You get given a ticket, and if the ride is more than 30 minutes, they will give you a return time, which is good. You can just wander off and do other attractions. So that was a bit of a rundown of our day yesterday. So I've been really rubbish at ending the vlogs because I'm so tired by the end of the day. But we had a great first day. We're going in again today, which for you will be tomorrow. As always, if you enjoyed today's vlog, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks so much for watching, really, it's been the world to me. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I will see you today or tomorrow on the next vlog. Bye!